Hello everybody, welcome back to the World AI Deathmatch series. This is the final series as it has been voted as the most selected feature. I'm going to fly around the map and kind of show you guys the aftermath of me leaving my computer on overnight. Of course, each turn was about, I'd say about 3 or 4 minutes long due to the fact that Persia is huge. I believe the last episode we ended our turn on around 550 or 560. It's now turn 710, and it is 2155 AD. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in the worlds here. Africa seems to largely be the same. Of course, the key difference is that Utik no longer belongs to France. Persia has seemed to have conquered the entirety of the continent for themselves. And they even have some cities off of the coast of Africa that belong to them, like these names I can't pronounce over here, off of Madagascar and the others. Let's go now up north to Europe, where it seems to me that France has also been conquered. Well, not seems to me, it's relatively obvious that France has been conquered as well. But what's that? We see a Danish cargo ship that's still in the game, so that must mean that Denmark is still in the game. Let's go ahead and fly over Northern Europe. Of course, the Soviet Union was completely annexed, as we could see. And there's still certainly no lack of Persian settlers. We can already see 4 on the screen right now. So let's check it out. Denmark still has a city of Jelling up here in the middle of the Arctic, I guess, Ocean, which is a bit funny. They have, I believe, 2 or 3 cargo ships, which is pretty interesting. And they even spitted out a Danish settler, although it remains to be seen whether or not they can use it anywhere. Of course, they're now in the industrial era, which is a first for them. They're only a few hundred years late. Let's go fly over the rest of Europe. Before I do that, check it out. Shoshoni still have control over Northern Ireland and Scotland. And they also have control over key parts of both Norway and kind of like northwestern Sweden. So that's very nice. Let's go fly over the east now, where, as you guys can see, just a domination of Persia. This is their heartland, after all. This is where they are the most powerful. But there is still a spattering of Shoshoni cities here, like Wine-Mocha. I have no idea how it got there. There's a bit of a hint that there were more Shoshoni cities here in the past, such as Big Pine, which is puppeted. Let's go fly over to the south now, where it seems to me that Korea has been wiped out of the game. I do remind my viewers that I've actually not seen this. This is the first time that I'm seeing the aftermath along with you guys. I saved the game, played it on overnight, and then quit. And this is me the first time. It looks like we're actually missing a few Korean cities. I'm not sure if this is because they were nuked off of the map, as cities can be. You can actually nuke a city so much that the health drops below 0 and it's wiped off the map. Take a look at this mess of railroads outside of Da Nang over here. This is a bit of a mess with a shitload of customs houses outside of Hong Kong. Interesting, as that is a city-state. So let's fly north. I don't remember any of these cities being here, like Yamba, Gyeoje, and Gwatir. I have a feeling that Korea has lost more than 2 or 3 cities from nuclear explosions. Of course, this is evidence to the fact that there is fallout on top of these mountains over here. Of course, workers cannot go on top of mountains to clear the fallout, so this is our best, I guess of where the nuclear warfare took place. Of course, all of Japan has been conquered, and their old capital of Seoul as well has been conquered. Again, I thought there were more cities here that belonged to Korea, but I guess again, they were probably destroyed. Like this city over here, Lillehammer. I don't remember ever seeing that. If we fly to the north, more cities sprawling in every direction from Persia. In fact, there are even cities over here in the tundra that Persia has decided to make a farm with. I'm not really quite sure how realistic this would be in real life, considering this area is completely inhospitable to human life. But anyways, let's fly to the east. We see some more Persian cities. And in the south, Korea is still in the game. They have the former Japanese city of Nagoya as their capital. Of course, we do see some nuclear submarines, like this gigantic one that's basically flying in their city. I have no idea why that is. But if we go east, take a look at this. Shoshoni actually control quite a bit of land here in eastern Siberia. Excuse me. Really bad allergies, I guess, as per the usual for me here in France. So, Persia seems to have control of the very eastern tip of Siberia, as we can see here. And they also have some weird-looking thing resting in their city that looks like a stealth bomber, but it's massive. And they also have the former Japanese city turned Kyoanese city turned Persian city of Satsuma. Of course, Philadelphia and the Americans, Washington, has been wiped out of the game. Philadelphia now belongs to the Shoshoni. And the Shoshoni have even decided to settle a city to the northwest of Philadelphia. Let's go fly over North America now, where we will see how the Shoshoni have been faring. Of course, they are still independent from Persia, which means they're doing something right. And holy fuck, look at all of these paratroopers. There's like 15,000 of them. This is quite ridiculous, to be quite honest with you guys. I mean, like, just look at this. This is, if I've never seen unit spam before, this is a pretty good introduction to just a ridiculous amount of unit spam. This is a shitload of attack helicopter gunships and paratroopers. I don't really see any death robots, but I mean, these paratroopers, I remind my viewers that they can basically be dropped in over enemy lines a few tiles away from friendly territory. So if the Persians were to declare war on the Shoshone, they could drop like 15,000 of these things on the war front. Going down to the south, of course, the Shoshone have still managed to hold on to the Venezuelan north of South America. The demarcation line separating the two great world powers is over here to the east of Maracaibo and the west of Maracay. We do see some hint of nuclear warfare, again, as we can check out over here on these mountains. The mountains never lie, in fact. The former Soviet colony of Baku, of course, is in Shoshone hands, as are, I believe, is this Easter Island? Or yeah, I believe this is Easter Island, Skull Valley, really cool location. So let's go and fly over South America. Of course, Venezuela no longer exists in this game. And we can see that there is quite a bit of, I guess, Persian development down here in the South America. And I would be willing to wager that Venezuela has just recently been annexed out of the game, considering Buenos Aires is still somewhat damaged, and the extent of nuclear warfare here in the Andean mountain range. Of course, the cities of Gamji, Kolding, and Anju are all relatively new. They are, again, Persian, I guess, cities. And I'm not really quite sure. I think this is the Falkland Islands. This may or may not be the South McDonald or Sandwich Islands, I forgot. But if this is the Falkland Islands, sorry, Argentina, you know, you can't be pissed off at Great Britain this time. You have to be pissed off at the Persian Empire. Of course, nobody speaks Spanish anymore in South America, or Portuguese for that matter. So I guess that renders the point rather moot. But South America, here we go. This is the dividing line between the two great empires. So we'll take a look at the score. And it seems that, again, Persia is just dominating. There are several other civilizations that still have not been fully wiped out. Talking about their units, of course. France still has a worker somewhere, and as is Kilwa. Very, very interesting. And yeah, this is, I mean, like, when we fly over North America, I mean, this is just insane. I mean, look at all these units. If there were any Europeans or any Persians that wanted to colonize North America, they definitely think twice. It's incredible that the Shoshone have been able to defend themselves against the Persians. And I think even if I left this game on for, you know, another year, the Shoshone would still triumphantly hold their own. They are a very religiously unified country, as only Christianity seems to predominate in their empire. Of course, if you go to the West, though, this is less the case. But in North America, Protestantism and Catholicism rules the day, as it does in real life, so that's a bit interesting. Of course, South America is also predominantly Catholic, which is quite realistic. Let's go to the east now. In the middle of the Atlantic, we do see some Persian cities, interestingly enough. And over here, we've yet to fly over Shoshone, Greenland. It's interesting to see that Greenland has been colonized by the Shoshone, as has none of it Canada, which is a bit nothing going on over here, just snow. In fact, their city of Holstebro has no strategic resources at all that they can work. It's a bit weird that that's even somewhat functioning as a unit. We do see the Shoshone city of Reykjavik, quite far away from the historical Reykjavik, which is over here in Iceland. And Iceland is under the control of Persia. Very, very interesting. So I think that's about it, guys. Very, very interesting, I guess, turn of events. Again, this is about a few hundred turns after our last episode. And again, I believe Persia is at peace with everybody. I mean, you can see their absolute massive military and naval buildup over here, especially over here in Oceania as well. We're going to fly over Australia. I didn't forget about Australia, of course. And I'm honestly surprised that the game can still generate names for the Persian cities. I mean, as you guys can see, they're spitting out cities. They got cities in modern day Hawaii. They got cities in modern day Samoa, and New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, really everything. And it's pretty incredible. Even over here in New Zealand too, they've managed to fit a lot of cities. I didn't realize you could actually set a city 3 turns away from another city, but apparently you can. News to me. Like over here off of the coast of Australia, but this is Tasmania, the island of Tasmania. I was going to say Tanzania, but that's, basically off of the coast of Africa. So guys, I want to thank you guys very much for watching the series. It was great to have this series, and the winner of the next Spectator Battle series will be the Fallout 3 Civilizations and Map Spectator Battle. So stay tuned for that. Should come out here in the next couple of days. Of course, I already have 4 other series that I'm currently recording. So, well, I mean, I guess maybe 3 other series. So there's going to be 4 series total. It might be maybe another week. Maybe the soonest I could probably put it out is in 4 days. The latest maybe about in a week, in 2 days. So stay tuned for the Fallout 3 Spectator Battle. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it won't take as long because the map will be more than likely quite a bit smaller. So that'll be a lot of fun, a lot more action that goes on that you guys can see. And again, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching the World AI Spectator Battle. We are going to be using the new mods that you guys have suggested for the new Spectator Battle, like the improved UI, user interface mods that you guys have been telling me about. But before we end the episode and thus the series, let's go ahead and go to the demographic screen just to see how many Persians inhabit the world. It seems to me that there are nearly 1 billion Persians in the world here in 2200 AD. Which is quite a bit less than our current global population of 7 or 8 billion. Again, I think this has something to do with the fact that the world is a nuclear wasteland, but it could be other factors as well. Of course, China is severely depopulated, and this is where most of our world population comes from nowadays. Of course, 1,300,000,000 people live in China in modern day, world. In the modern day world, there we go. It's a better way for me to say this. So again, this is a nuclear wasteland, so that would probably explain why the world population is so low. So besides demographics, let's go and see the rest of this. Of course, Persia is in the lead of everything. They have 44 million square kilometers of land. That's quite a bit of land. And they have a standing army of almost 1,700,000 active duty soldiers. Very crazy. They do have a literacy of 99%, which is a bit surprising because this is almost 2200 AD, and there are still illiterate people to be found in the world. Of course, these are probably the people that are working in, the lower stratas of society here in the future. Just like in Brave New World, I'm sure there's probably a brand new social system that's in effect. Of course, still surprising to me to see all these paratroopers over here in North America. I mean, this is really incredible. I mean, just look at this screen real quick. I'm just gonna pause here. See if you can count all of these paratroopers just in this one screen alone. There's probably more than 100. It's insane. And because Civilization counts one of these units as an entire, battalion or regiment or whatever you want to call it, that means the Shoshoni probably have close to a few, maybe hundreds of thousands of paratroopers. Very crazy. Let's go over to, I don't know, what else should we do here? Economic map mode, well, that's just for me. Military overview, that's just for me. And what about the religion? So let's go and see what the world religion is. The religion that claims the most amount of territory is Eastern Orthodoxy, which would be more realistically atheism since it was sprouted from the Soviet Union. But it claims the most amount of cities at 53 cities. Catholicism, coming from Texas, which is also another wiped out civilization, claims 40 cities. Islam, which was sprouted by Kilwinnie's empire, sprouts 38 cities. And Shinto claims 24 cities. And these are all empires that have been wiped out of the game, including Vietnam, that has sprouted out Buddhism. It seems to me that for the most part, the most popular world religions are actually from the civilizations that have long been wiped out. So although they are a distant memory to the civilizations that currently inhabit the map, perhaps there are legends that date back in the history books of both the Persian and Shoshoni school systems. Of course, Denmark is still in the game, and so is Korea, but come on, really, I mean, they're basically one city-states. Nobody really cares about them. So that's nice. Let's go back over to Maybe the tech tree? No, that's just for us. What about the trade route? Oh, yeah, it's just for us. Victory progress. Yeah, I mean, Persia controls most of the world's cities. They were never able to successfully win, but they came close. They came close. Let's go over to the cultural overview, where we're gonna find the amount of great works that are currently in the game. It seems to me that there are only like 3 great works from Persia, 2, or rather 1 that belongs to Shoshoni, 1 that belongs to France, and 1 that belongs to Korea. That's quite pathetic, to be honest with you guys, but I guess it makes sense. Over here in cultural victory, of course, Persia is still the paragon of happiness, and the entire world has adopted communism. So that's another thing about the future. Everybody's working together. Everybody's happy in their collective housing and their prefabricated concrete monolithic apartment structures. So that's nice. There is no unhappiness because everybody's dosed up. The opiate of the masses is in the water supply, and everybody's happy. Yay! Regardless of the fact that there is a nuclear fallout around the entire map. So this is a bit of a dystopian map, of course. The world government is in the control of a massive tyrant that has unsuccessfully captured the remaining few civilizations. Of course, Shoshoni are a unique civilization because they've been able to successfully hold back the Persian advance. I'd be interested in seeing this battle, but alas, I do not have the recording when they were battling each other. But again, if you fly over the map, it does tell you a story. It tells you a story of Korean determination of survival and the Persians who overran them and paved the Korean and thus Chinese kind of region with Persian rugs. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next Spectator series. It's going to be the Fallout 3 series, and I hope you guys are excited. Again, the vote was for me to end the episode and leave it on overnight. I think the vote was incredibly close. It might have been 1 or 2 votes, I believe. So guys, thank you again for watching this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys hopefully on the next series. See you guys soon. Take care.